AI era WordPress, right? So, how many of you believe? If you believe we are in, if you agree with me, raise your hands. Are we in AI era? Nice. So that's the question. If we are in AI era now, at least we are in beginning of an AI era, right? And I have here this panel of people who are either building AI, building with AI, or running agencies with AI, right? So I have a very simple question for all of them. And before that, let me start introducing them. And after introduction, I'll just ask a question to them, right? So let's start with Abhay here. Abhay is, as you know, first N18 ambassador in India, right? He co-founded a company called as Givonix, and he's an ex Brainstorm Force employee who has a product called as ZipWP. Now ZipWP is basically AI builder for WordPress. I don't know if you know or not. So my question to Abhay is, right, if a prompt can create a website, right? So what's the role of WordPress and CMSs in this era?
Okay, thank you, Amit sir, for the introduction. So, I'll straightforward answer the question. So, WordPress के लिए हम अभी तक ऐसे देखते आ रहे हैं कि WordPress is a website building platform. लेकिन WordPress is much more than, because WordPress has a capability called as post types, where you can create multiple post types which can extend into multiple different things. So now the role of developer has changed from just building a website to building a system over it. So let me give a simple example. Each website has a contact form which someone uses to get the leads, someone uses to get the contact information anyone submitting on their website. So how about building a simple CRM over it? So there are multiple CRMs in the market which charge few hundreds of dollars, which can be paid and brought up to. But with the help of AI, the building plugins or building custom post types on WordPress is such easy that you can build a custom CRM for the client, which can analyze the lead that are coming on the website. So for example, if I am interested in any product from a website, I just submit a lead on the website. Based on my details on the information, maybe my domain name, maybe my website, maybe my email address, there are so much of digital footprint available on the internet. And AI can scrape the web easily, as you may have heard Perplexity, which has been free with Airtel these days. You can just search on any email address, it can find an entire footprint of that email address or that domain or that particular person on the internet. So if you can offer an option to client that if any lead gets submitted on your website, have a lightweight CRM within your website which can analyze about that lead. So having this wonderful simple option can just boost your clients' business, maybe help them get more leads, help them close more deals, and they're just adding simple touch to it with the help of AI, which needs to be done a few days, which is done in a few seconds.
Cool. So I'll be asking the same question to Priyanka, right? Priyanka runs an agency called as AdLabs Technology. She's co-founder and CTO. She's also a community member and organizer of Wordcamp Surat, right? Active member there. And she's planning to host a women's Wordcamp in coming days in Surat. So, Priyanka, same question to you. You are also CTO and you run an agency focused on WordPress. How do you see the role of WordPress, right, in this area?
First of all, thank you for introducing me. As an agency owner, I see like वो जो होता है ना कि जो भी अभी नया चल रहा है उसमें से हमें क्या मिलेगा, राइट? उसका एडवांटेज क्या ले सकते हैं इंस्टेड ऑफ उसका फियर कि एआई हमें रिप्लेस कर देगा, 10 इयर्स आफ्टर मेरी एजेंसी कहाँ होगी, वेदर मेरे एम्प्लॉयज और मेरी नीड भी रहेगी या नहीं रहेगी. सो आई डोंट fear of that.
Nice.
Yeah. So I actually believe that go with the flow. अभी क्या अवेलेबल है उसको यूज करो, क्लाइंट को जो भी उसके अंदर अवेलेबल है जो बेस्ट पॉसिबल दे सकते हैं वो दीजिए. लाइक आपने अगर मेरा सेशन अटेंड किया हो तो एक सॉल्यूशन बताया था कि एआई को हम कैसे इंटीग्रेट कर सकते हैं विद गुटनबर्ग ब्लॉक्स. सो ये बेसिकली मैंने क्लाइंट के लिए काम किया था. सो that particular client works with multiple associations कि same association के लिए website, फिर उसके अंदर board of members के लिए सब sites रहते हैं, फिर उसके अंदर private site रहता है, तो उसका जो भी content है वो accessible to that members also. तो member उस पे write भी करते हैं. So I said him, his name is Nico. So I said him that Nico, I can suggest one more thing for our product to the clients. Like let's give them a functionality that at that particular thing that they can handle their content on their own. They don't need to rely, and they can also rewrite particular things and everything. So he just impressed, and that particular thing, I said him that it will took me 200 to 300 hours on research and basic thing, and after that we will integrate in the whole product. It's basically Laravel and WordPress combined product. So that type of gain is there. So that advantage we need to take from here. And obviously WordPress इतना बड़ा ecosystem है which cannot be replaced itna easily. I don't think in next 5-10 years at least.
Okay.
So it's not replaceable. It's like just यहाँ का वड़ा पाव फेमस है, तो वड़ा पाव itself is a WordPress, and उसके ऊपर top of the जो चीज है वो है AI. तो obviously we can give them an extra flavor and extra functionalities and everything, but I don't think it can be replaceable in large scale projects and everything. But obvious है कि जो छोटे websites हैं, small informative sites हैं, जैसे भाई ने बताया कि simple contact form है, lead generation है, हमें थोड़ा client का क्या बोलते हैं कुछ होमवर्क करना है कि ये पर्टिकुलर लीड है तो उसका पूरा डेटा स्क्रैप करना एंड जो होमवर्क रेडी रखना, तो वो चीज़ है. ऑब्वियसली वी कैन गेट एडवांटेज ऑफ दैट, एंड थोड़ा बहुत वर्क है जो एआई रिप्लेस कर सकता है, बट पूरा वर्क जो एंटरप्राइज लेवल पे चलता है या तो जो नीड है पूरा इकोसिस्टम के अंदर एसईओ प्लगइन्स है एंड सिक्योरिटी प्लगइन्स है, दैट कैन नॉट बी रिप्लेस्ड बाय एआई.
Cool. Yeah, let's complete this cycle, then I'll ask them follow-up questions on what answers they have given. Till now, what I have understood, right? And tell me if you guys have got this. With AI, you can build things easily. That's what I have heard till now, right? Okay, let's go to Yamin. Yamin is interesting here, right? Of all the panelists, he works as an automation engineer and AI expert at Morsec, Pune, and he is doing PhD in AI, right? So we have a PhD person here. So again, Yamin, same question to you. What do you see the impact of AI and the need of CMSs in this era?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Amit, for the introduction. Already you have put a lot of burden on my shoulder with this introduction. Okay, anyway, coming to the point, previous two panel members already added those points. I will add a few additional things in it. As today's combination is WordPress plus AI. Am I right? Yeah. So WordPress plus AI, I can give you an example. Okay. If you are using AI to build a website, fine. So we are building a house. Using AI, we can build a house. But in order to run a city, you need a CMS. Are you getting my point? Okay. So as she said, the CMS, WordPress, we are building the ecosystem, correct? So we can see, building a website, it doesn't mean that I am building a digital brochure or I am preparing a very straightforward, simple, plain website, correct? Using AI, we can do that. But apart from that, there are various things going in the background. Integration is there, role assignment is there, architecture point of perspective, we need a scaling if number of requests are coming, fine. So in order to handle all those aspects which are hidden and which we cannot give a control and ask AI, hey, you go there and you just handle at your end whatever is going inside. No one will do that, trust me. Okay, so you don't have to be in a fear or in that judgment that AI will consume or AI will eat all jobs. No, it is not going to happen. And yes, as we know, COVID gives us very important lesson. The lesson is about fittest will survive. So yeah. So in order to be in the race, we need to be fittest in the technological era. Thank you.
Yeah. So please underline this word, fittest. Very critical to understand what he's saying. Okay, we'll go to Vijay sir. He's founder of Qualtech, right? It's a product company based out of Kolhapur, right, sir? Yeah. They are into credit compliance and supply. And he has a massive 18 years experience, worked for 6 years in USA. Right? So, Vijay, same question to you. How do you see the impact of AI and CMSs?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks, Amit, for introduction. I look at it from three angles. The first is smarter, faster, but not replaceable. What does that mean? Is AI basically changed the way we use WordPress, but it doesn't change us whether we should use WordPress or not.
Okay.
The second thing is like there is going to be the end of a DIY, do it yourself, but there is not going to be the end of a WordPress. What does that mean by that? Is like WordPress kills, AI kills the tedious setup part, but it cannot replace the flexible platforms like WordPress. And the third thing is AI is a power tool, it's not a website. Website still needs structure, strategy, and ownership in a place. So to put it in a single line, I would say WordPress plus AI is equal to speed. So what does that mean is like you can build the blogs, generate the blogs, create the themes faster with the AI. Non-technical person or the user can quickly create the websites using AI in hours rather than the days. But we have to do the reality check. And what is the reality check? The reality check is faster is always not equal to quality. You build faster, that doesn't mean that you build quality. At the end, the quality matters. When you go in a product, what does it matters? Quality. Does it matters it took 2 days or it took 200 days to build? When you buy any product in the market, you look for a quality. So that's where I will sum it up at the start, like WordPress plus AI is equal to speed, but which is not equal to quality. So that's the fact. That's the reality we have to check.
Awesome. So now we go to Nagesh. I guess most of you won't know him yet, but he's one of those storytellers. I know that we can talk hours, right? And whenever we meet at a WordCamp, we spend a lot of time talking, right, about what's happening around. He's an ex-automatician, the company that got us Jetpack and WordPress, right? WordPress.com. He has worked on payments and support engineer of WordPress.com. Currently, he is a consultant and a tinkerer, active tinkerer, if you know, right? He's working on 3D, and he recently published a story, about how he used AI to build those 3D models, right? He said, "I don't know anything about 3D," right? So, same question to you, Nagesh. If a skill can be easily learned, what's the future of, CMSs?
Okay, so let me break this down into two parts about what is AI is here, what's going to happen to WordPress, right? So that part.
Yeah.
And second, to most of us here, we are students, and some of us have, or rather most of them over here have the benefit of being full-time students. So maybe there is some interesting things for us via AI within WordPress or otherwise. So that's going to be my second part.
Yeah.
First part, I'm grateful to Priyanka that she stuck to Vada Pav, and because I want to steal the line from her from the last slide. She said that WordPress is not going to, AI is not going to take WordPress away. It's going to make WordPress better. And there is some set of experience and past evidence to this as well. AI is a quantum leap, unprecedented, abhutpurva, right? But this is not the first time Matt or the makers of B2 realize that they need a platform which is scalable, where they don't have to write HTML page for every new blog post. And the format of blogging was born at that time. WordPress was born at that time, and it's so different now. So at that time, the base technology was HTML and CSS. Somebody said, let's use PHP so that we get a friendly admin. That was a quantum leap of technology, just like we are jumping to AI now. What happened? It became easier for non-techies. Fast forward many
cities died.
Oh yeah, so sorry for them. I would have allowed them to exist, and I would have allowed to tinker with it and make something out of it. But yeah, fast forward to the age of browsers and computers becoming much more powerful. So the philosophy of PHP is the local machines are weak and the server is bar. Server are the people who are rich, they can really give you all the power. That's why PHP ran on the server, and whatever PHP delivers to you is final. But the sad part was, even for changing one small bit, the whole page had to refresh, a new server request had to go, or maybe a cache request. So that was not probably the most efficient way. But guess what? Many years later, computers in your palm became as powerful or 10 times powerful as the earliest computers which occupied the whole room. Browsers became much more powerful. They became a sort of an operating system by itself. Chrome operating system.
Yeah.
So that at that time you saw an evolution of platforms like React, and that's when Matt said, learn React deeply.
True.
And then the philosophy came, whatever server does best, like your backend APIs, keep it on the server, let PHP do it. But whatever, if you want to improve user experience, make good use of the computing power on the user side. So jump to React. And eventually we led to, that came to block editor, which is completely using React.
Yeah.
And what we are seeing is a beautiful dance between PHP on the server side, React on our side. What happened? There was a quantum leap of technology. PHP developers were worried, oh my god, our job is shaking. No, their job became better. But then new people came in with new skills of React. The whole user experience improved for the person maintaining the website. No code became a big thing.
True.
From low code, and everything improved. Now comes AI, which brings another layer of being able to, if not build, test and prototype very quickly. I have an idea in my mind, but I can't wait for a developer or a designer to come and sit in front of me and manifest what's in my head on the screen. Guess what? I just go to ChatGPT, or thanks to Mukesh Bhai, I have got Gemini Pro, thanks with my Geo for no cost. I just give it a few prompts, it gives me a few prototypes. It's still not final. But then once I get an HTML file, I'm doing this now for my brother-in-law's website. He's given me a long list of requirements, probably generated by ChatGPT. But I used that and I just gave his logo as an input. I got a beautiful prototype in simple HTML. It's very easy for me to convert that to block. So the stories I'm telling here is how AI and the next quantum leap is going to make WordPress better. And WordPress is only grown so much and gotten better because whenever there has been a quantum leap, it didn't say, oh no, this is a bubble. It embraced the new trend and saw how it could make life easier for the next set of people. I would like to pluck one more story out here,
Please,
if I may, at the cost of 2 more minutes. I would like to really mention Gorbadeji out here.
Yeah.
And while you were busy eating chicken yesterday, I grabbed a use case for today's syllabus.
No, I remember his
Whatever,
talk.
yes. So
I know what he said.
whenever he speaks, I see the excitement in his eyes. He said earlier he had his news website working on some other platform, and he started using WordPress for blogging. During COVID and with the help of AI, he was able to move even the news section completely to WordPress. So what has happened? Some other complex CMS, we have grabbed the market share and brought it to WordPress. Hats off.
Thank you.
So we have live cases right here in this room. So, and that brings me to very quickly to the second part. For students out here, I'll make it short. We always look for mentors or someone to show how can I do this with HTML, CSS, whatever code. You wait for the mentor, but mentors are busy. Today you can ask the same questions to your favorite coding platform, either ChatGPT or Claude. It will give you a prototype or a sample. But don't just stop and admire the beautiful UI that you get. Dive deeper and scratch the code that it has written. Try to understand the code. And what Amit mentioned, I had no clue about 3D design, but some interior designer came and said, I want to make a 3D room preview wherein they should be able to see the false ceiling that I put. I was like, oh, I've not developed something like this. But let me check. I went back, used anti-gravity, gave it a few prompts, and within minutes, the app was ready on my browser. I was like, wow, I can ship it. No. I went back, checked the code, found that there was something called as import 3 from 3.js or import 3 from 3. I scratched a bit, found that there is a free and open source framework called 3.js wherein you can build anything in 3D like video games, interior design, architecture, software, free of cost using that framework. So that's how I'm just sharing a tip on how you can learn using AI as a new mentor, as a new colleague to teach you new things. But go back and scrutinize the code, what AI gives you. Sorry, that was a
Perfect.
bit
No, that's a good side. So I'll just continue with Rajendra's example before we continue further, right? So yesterday he talked about how he used AI to solve some of his problems in blogging with WordPress, right? Where earlier he used to struggle. So that is what my point is, right? If a end user is able to do all these things themselves, what's the use of a developer or an agency at all? And this is going to be all of you. Please feel free to answer anyone who wants to, right, or add to it. The other point that I also want to discuss in this is I recently saw a demo, right? And Yogesh just mentioned that for his brother-in-law, he is building that HTML site, right? So if you guys can so easily build a website in prompt, why go with the complexity of WordPress? And WordPress is complex. Let's accept that fact now. It's not easy compared to the prompt to HTML output. And end of the day, website is but an HTML page, right? You gave an example of lead generation and all those things, contact, right? True, all these things are important points. But then AI can build this for us as well, right? And integrate it for us. So I still am confused. Where is the CMS really helpful, right? Because all these things can be done by AI, and I know a lot of people who are doing it, right? And literally, the demo I saw, right, was so good that this question came to my mind, and that's why I basically, when I got an opportunity, I said, let's ask this question because, that's the future we are talking about, yours, ours. Because if AI can do all these things, developers की ज़रूरत है क्या? Please, anyone. You start. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give a quick example again here. So I was trying to build a CRM for one of my clients, and I went to Lovable. So Lovable, you may all of know, with one prompt we can get a good output, and I think it is one of the polished AI builders in the market where it gets a good UI, good everything. Then I built a good CMS, and at the time I didn't check any of the line of the code. Then I was still a good output. Then I showed it to my client. He said, let's do one change. So I think at that time there was only 5 credit left for me. So it took something around 3 to 4 credit, and it broke something, and the whole functionality was gone in the whole thing. So I had only one option to pay $25 again and renew my subscription and check what has gone wrong, and then go ahead and then fix that thing again. So while building the systems like this, maybe while building a system that it requires a lot of data to be pulled into database, or a lot of data that needs to be pulled in from the database, a CMS, that structure has been already built. So there is a thing that never reinvent the wheel from the scratch again. So if there is a system that has been built to scale all these things, maybe why not build on top of it? Maybe build a plugin on WordPress which can do all these things. I'm not saying entirely that you can't build a website with AI and don't use it. Maybe we should think together. If needs a simple project, if that can be done with AI and it will not take much of my time, much of some others' time, and if everyone is happy, like the end customer and the who you are doing it, if it is affordable for us, then why not do it? But the things, when you take it at scalability or building systems level, these things needs to be considered here.
Anyone, please add to it. Add your points.
So basically, when we think about like new project, when client come to us, they will have the one page of requirement, and they are also starting their business and coming into the that particular field, and after they get to know that, oh, this functionality I also want, and my competitor is having this type of functionalities, and he is growing much better using that type of functions, like let's say, for example, e-commerce store is there, right? And if firstly it is a simple e-commerce store, it is okay to build with the AI. But when customer comes with you that okay, now I want to integrate it with the Salesforce, let's say, like Salesforce has API limits. One of my client is already using Salesforce, and because Salesforce has a API limit, a number of APIs, and they have 1,000 number of products. So what they actually do is, like, he will sync those products in WooCommerce one time, and after that WooCommerce will be in the scene in a store, right? So in that type of functionalities, when first they build the website, and if they have created that website using AI, it is simple. That okay, basic functionalities are there. But what about the future requirements? Is it fitted with the AI, use of AI or not? So that is
So
the main
maintainability
point.
is what you're saying. Can it be
Maintainability
maintained
yes,
easily?
yes. And AI can build the website but cannot run the website on their own. So
True.
you cannot imagine that today I have built this website using AI will perform same way after 5 years. So to maintain and to run it in a actual case to case basis, you need human touch and development.
Cool.
So that CMS thing is
Still needed,
over there,
okay.
still needed. Yes.
Anyone? Yeah.
Yeah, already the many points covered. Just one thing I can add here, as we are worried about if everything AI will do, then what is left. So we can take an example. Suppose, as I said no, earlier, like designing is something we can manage using AI. But when it comes to the changes, as she said, Abhay also said, certain changes are coming across, okay? And see, there are certain things, depending on the prompt, how we write. If something is missing there, we are not detailing, then definitely it is like a nightmare for us. And as you said that credits are left, then again we need to, if there is a deadline and everything, we need to spend a lot of time to fix it. And that is a challenging thing. This is what I think.
Yeah.
So I think AI tools basically sit on top of the WordPress, but it cannot replace the WordPress. And what I mean by that, using the AI tools, you can speed up the development. Okay, but there are other things which takes more time. So think about, as you mentioned, prompting and reviewing the prompt, whether you have given the correct prompt or not, right? Then the second thing comes is the UX decisions. How AI will make the UX decisions. In a product-based industry, how AI can determine what should be the workflow when someone is trying to procure something in his company, right? Okay, because every company needs are different, their departmental organizational hierarchy is different, their approvals are different, right? Even if they are in the same sector. So that cannot be done by the AI unless and until you are doing a better job of prompting and reviewing those prompts, right? And another thing aspects comes about the 3 pillars which any product company or any organization thinks about. What about the performance? What about the security? What about the compliance? Can AI do all these things? Well, many companies are putting their lot of money. Some companies have more than 50% of budget on security. But there are so many hackers. There is bounties going on, right? So who is going to do that part? So AI is never going to replace the developers. I think, in my opinion, AI doesn't remove the work. It just changes the way we are used to do the things and now how we should be doing. And it is a shift in skills, and which we all should adapt. Because this is just like, as you mentioned, like HTML, CSS, PHP, .NET, everything. It's evolving. We adapt it. It's just like the shift in the skill. So whoever adapts to that skill, he's going to be always a developer.
Perfect. That's a nice way of putting it. The developer difference between developer and a coder. Coders are going to be extinct, right? But developers are always going to stay.
One word which has always fascinated me in the world of software, or which distinguishes good software from average or bad software, or even a good building from a average or a bad building is the word architecture. And to know what is architecture, it's not just about building a aesthetically beautiful Taj Mahal, but it's also about understanding who is going to use it, how is that structure going to withstand weather and changes of environment, and is it going to give the same beautiful experiment despite the environment changing wildly. Now what am I talking about here? Now if I want to build a good software, of course I need to know my audience correctly.
Yes.
I need to know how they are going to use. I need to keep an eye on the environment of the software, which means the operating system on which it is running, the server, whether it's running on Linux or what.
Yes.
What are its dependencies? How fast are they changing? Has something changed in them? If I'm, for example, if I'm developing an Android app, Android versions keep on changing. The hardware keeps on changing.
Yeah.
We have to keep our eyes on so many things, which means we need to have a very big head to have almost unlimited context.
Yes.
And even if I hire all the Amazons or all the servers in the world, including the servers under Arctic put by some conspiracy theorists, it will still not be sufficient to cover all the context that I know, or the context not just of me, all the collective community of open source knows about WordPress or Linux or whichever is the. So that collective brain, human brain, is far bigger than probably whatever context can be perceived to be seen.
Perfect.
And that's the reason why AI will continue to be a tool under us to make things better. But yes, the master of the context and to keep an eye and vigil on how things are changing, and architecture will continue to remain in our hands. Thanks.
Right. So what I've understood, right, is that we need to adapt. Right. Architecture is important, and how do we basically go about it? So, what is the advice before I open it for Q&A? Right. What is the advice you will give to the students here? Right. Because it's what we're talking based on what it is today. By the time they will graduate, chances are this has already gone to a next level, right? In that stage where today AI might be struggling in certain aspects of the thing, and those who have seen the evolution of AI in last 3-4 years, right? When it started, the coding was pathetic. To today, it does a decent job of coding. Even Claude right? All of you have heard of Claude? Yesterday I heard they formed the agents, Cloudbot agents formed a social network, right? So that's the era we are in. So how fast it will change, right? So how they can adapt, how they can evolve, what they should focus on, right? As so that they get a better out of this career and can track this changing environment, which is changing so rapidly, right? Big five are fighting over each other to survive. So it's not just us here, it's a challenge for everyone because of the evolution that is happening in AI at the speed it is happening. So yeah, your advices and then we'll go to question answers.
I think like looking at the panel, I am too young to give any advice, but one advice that I give, because I was a student a year back and now I'm sitting here, so that's a pleasure for me. But keep experimenting all these things. I'd share one again story that I found a loop in a system that everyone in the sales or marketing company or who is finding a job needs a data enrichment. So they'll go to a LinkedIn profile and try to find out the email address or mobile number of that particular person. Maybe it's a hiring manager, maybe it's a CEO, maybe it's a prospect for a particular line. So there are tools like Apollo.io, or there are many tools on market which give the subscription and which costs something around $99 a month. So that is expensive for them. So there was a tool, I'll not mention here, which was giving all this data via API. So API, you all of you have heard, like it's a language that systems can talk to each other. So what I built over it is just with a simple WhatsApp chat that you can just chat with that and get data or context out of it. So the cost for it is for $0.001 per lead. So that was the cost I was getting. So I just purchased a credit of $10. I created a plan of 499 rupees and sold it to 100 different persons and ran it for 1 more year, and that has built me a good amount of fund to sustain my business, maybe leave the job that I was doing. Maybe later that was patched out, that was a bug from that API company that was offering such low credits in AI at such low power and via API too, because I was building a product on top of their product. So just finding out opportunities, what opportunities lies in the market, instead of just trying to figure it out. I'll learn everything from scratch and then I'll implement that. And like while doing all these things, I learned a lot of things in between, like how things works in prompting, what should be the system message for prompting, and how we should prompt well so that we can run chatbots with the help of prompt for the end users. That's my point.
So basically, keep your eyes open, learn what's happening, and look for the opportunities.
Yeah, the same thing. Keep learning and be updated. Like whatever new tools are there, new technology in AI is there in our field. Be updated about that, all the things, and at least try each and every tools, whatever is available there. Who knows which particular tool gives easy solution to our requirement or client's requirement. And another thing, like Nagesh told, that architecture. So. We need to have that ownership of the code. Like whatever we have built, we should know the architecture of it, how it is built, so that whenever you need to debug it, or at least when you want to extend this particular thing, whatever you have built using AI, you can go with easily for that particular thing. Otherwise, you have to start from scratch, as a basic.
Yeah. So basically, this I will summarize it as, understand your system. Your understanding of your system is very critical, right?
Yes, I have very straightforward formula in life which I use. Learning is directly proportional to earning. Earning not in terms of money only, but in terms of the knowledge. As much as you learn every day, and it should be a disciplined learning, because as Amit asked to give the suggestions to all of the participants today. So that's it. Simple, straightforward.
Disciplined learning. How many of you attended a session by Prathamesh today? Anyone here? Yeah. Remember what he told about discipline? Perfect.
I think AI is becoming a new normal for all of us. So the better we quickly adapt it, and the better we quickly understand it, and the better we quickly start learning it. Okay, I would like to say only that, see, anything in the AI era, not only WordPress, anything. Okay, it's not about building anything faster. It's about deciding what's worth to build at all. Do we really need to build this? AI doesn't mean go and build everything, right? For small disposable websites or applications, I can say AI agents can win. But think about the steady uh, own digital products. Still, I think WordPress plus AI or any system plus AI can be a king. Because without that business knowledge, without that business acumen, you cannot basically build what your customers are going to experience. Customers are not bothered about whether you have built it in AI or not. They are bothered about what they are getting out of your products.
What's the outcome?
Right? So it's very important that you keep learning, you keep adapting to the new technologies. I think we are at the age right now for us, if someone says learn something, we are not, our minds will not even take that now, because we have passed that. But we were fortunate. We are in the middle. I think my age people we are really fortunate that we have seen everything. We have seen 2008 subprime. We have seen 1919 Y2K problem, right? Okay, so we have seen those things, and we have evolved, and why we are still here? Because we learned, we adapted. If we don't learn, if we don't adapt, it's impossible to stay in the course. So please do that, and you will be here. There is nothing is going to change. It's just going to change the shift. It's a shift in a mindset. It's a shift in a skill set. That's it.
So I'll summarize it as 2 points. One, you need to adapt, learn to adapt, right? And the other, business understanding has to improve for better outcomes, right? Yeah.
To all my student friends here, and I join you as a student as well. Uh, Keep experimenting. Right now, AI is new. All the big AI guys are trying to give best discounted services, including free services, for all of us to enjoy. We could do funny things with it, but yes, we all need to have good big dreams. A dream of making one of a very big app, getting so much of ARR, MRR, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
get into Shark Tank, all that, right? But I had the opportunity of interacting with few of you yesterday in the workshop and even today. Some of you walked up to me with interesting ideas and saying, "We want to build this." Develop the core skill of what a machine can't do very easily, of thinking clearly about what that small simple app is, which can just solve one simple problem, not the whole problem of the world. Something very small. Begin with something very small. Articulate that on a piece of paper that the app should do this, the app is used by this person. Try to write that down, what you see clearly. Give that to a AI tool and ask it to clean it up and make it into a proper project requirement document or a sheet. Look at it, make changes, feed it back to AI and ask it to give you a first cut prototype of the app. Even if you don't know anything about coding. And then once it gives you the code, try to explore the code, what it has written. If it is JavaScript, go back to JavaScript and check what exactly is that function. If it is using a library, go back and check what is that library. So start building small, make use of these AI tools, explore the code that you get, and once the code is ready, put it up in some place like GitHub where you can share it with your friends and that becomes a part of your resume. You can, if anybody says, yes, you do have your degree certificate, but if you come to me with a degree certificate, yes, respect. But if you show me 10 projects done in GitHub and how you did it, that's a winner. So keep hacking in the positive way. Keep developing small evidences which is publicly visible. Develop the skill which is unique to humans, clarity of thought, and then use that into a tool to get the final result.
Yeah. So thinking, right? Clarity of thought. That's what the summary of this his advice is. And if I now summarize what all of them have said, it's basically think clearly, right? If you think clearly, you will understand the business requirement, you will understand the architecture, and then use the tools to build it. And finally, one last thing, discipline. You need disciplined learning, because if you don't do that, well, we can keep talking, right? Okay, open to questions. Let's start questions. Anyone?